Okay, we're back with our little project here. What we're going to keep doing is we're going to keep trimming this out underneath here just a little bit more. But before we keep going here, I thought maybe doing the feet and some of the fascia. I see this needs to be cut off just a tad yet, so let's just chop this off. Try to get that the same width as the other. If you're a beginner, I would not recommend using a pocket knife. I would use a stationary knife. It's just a lot safer that way. Alright, so we're going to be cutting out the feet here a little bit. We're just going to, I have it like a little web design there. So what we want to do is we're just going to go in here. We're just going to chop this out. Just be very careful and take your time with it. And we're going to go down this way. We don't want to stick the point too far into the body. We just want to get it so we can get the feet taken care of here. The webbed feet. That's going to be a little tough, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just follow with my knife. I'm going to just push it down in there a ways, okay, and pull it back out very carefully. Okay. Hopefully we can just cut that right out. It's a little bit of a challenge because you don't have a lot of room there to maneuver. But, you know, work it in. See, there we go. Now I have a little bit of a bandsaw cut there, so we're just going to cut that flush with that. Might have been off just a tad when I cut it. And we're going to go in here. Just cut that out on either side. Like so. And just kind of take that little portion out. You don't want to pry it if you don't have to. Prying is not good for the knife. That's when you can bend up the end of your knife, especially if it's very thin like this is. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to, now the grain is running this way, so we're going to chop this off. We need to go from this direction. Okay, we're just kind of doing an outline here. Same thing here, we're going to just chop this out. Alright, and then we're going to chop some off here as well. We're just going to just be careful. I always say take your time, there's no rush. It doesn't have to be done in one day, you know. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut behind here again, just like so. We're going to cut some of this off here in the front, this body, and we're going to bring this in just a bit. Actually, the middle of it is right there, where it's hooked. You can see, if you can envision it, if this is where his leg actually starts coming out of, up here, then we have a pretty good room where we can work. So we know how far to go. We're going to cut this portion out right here. So that's just going to be a little bit of a slice this way and this way. Whoops. Alright, just like so. Alright, so we have basically how the feet are going to be, you know, so we'll go from there. And I'm going to start chopping inward a little bit. And it's a little tough because you're going against the grain there. You know, so your knife really, folks, needs to be sharp. Alright. And we'll worry about doing the feet later. We're going to leave that on there to give us some strength. We're going to come back here. We're going to keep rounding this off. I keep going in the wrong direction. I see my knife got dull there for some reason. I flipped to a different blade. I have a couple of different knives that I fuss with from time to time, and they work pretty good, so. So we're just going to round the body for the next couple of segments here, get it into some kind of shape. I still think it's a little bit too wide, but we can always take that off later. Same thing here, we're just going to get rid of the shoulder portion here. And come up the back end here. Oops, see, the grain's going the other way. Oops. That's a little tough part right there. There we go. He's way too wide yet, so we're just going to start trimming him up. Alright, so we have the feet kind of done, and when I come back I'll have a little bit more trimmed off on either side. I think I'm going to trim off, before I leave here, I think I'm going to just trim off about 1/8 to 3/8 of an inch off of each side. See how far I'm going here? This is a flat part. That's how far we want to go. I'm going to chop that off while I'm offline. It just seems a little too thick for me. I should have gone with a little bit smaller piece. Okay, so I'll be back. I'm going to trim each one of those off, and then we'll continue.